real-time chemical and biological sensors. I'm Mike Slauson. I'm the CEO of Lumense. The famous venture capitalist Vinod Khosla has a list of unhyped investment opportunities. And on that list, he has smart sensors. And he says that smart sensors will remake our interaction with the world around us. I'm going to take this a step further. I'm going to say that the 21st century will be the sensor century. So I know I'm 12 years late, but a belated welcome to the sensor century. Now there's obviously many different types of sensors, but chemical and biological sensors will be an important part of this whole revolution. Why? Because our world is made up of chemistry. And microorganisms are everywhere. And when the wrong chemical or the wrong microbe gets in the wrong place, you have a big problem. Our air, our water, our food, our health, our safety, our very welfare is at stake here. How is this? Well, first of all, big problems obviously represent big markets. How are these handled today? Today you have a paradigm where you take a sample, you send it off to a lab, a well-paid, well-trained guy in a lab coat takes that sample, runs it through analyzers, does an analysis for hours or days. A few days later, you get your data back, you act on it. By that point, the conditions on the ground may have changed. The damage may have already been done. So what's needed is a movement away from this sample and react paradigm to one where you're monitoring, measuring, and acting proactively. And that is what Lumense plans to do. We are developing a common sensor platform from which we will be able to launch products very quickly. All these products will be real-time, inline, and affordable. The heart of the sensor is this optical waveguide. This optical waveguide contains multiple sensor elements that can be manufactured using standard semiconductor technologies. Upon that optical waveguide, we put our proprietary coatings, our secret sauce. And when you transmit light down that waveguide, it travels in both the sense channel there at the bottom, the reference channel at the bottom as well. Some of the light actually travels in that proprietary coating. And when you have the target molecules come into that coating, come through the waveguide, come past the waveguide, get absorbed temporarily by that coating, you have a change in the speed of light, which then can be detected and is proportional to the concentration of the target chemical. Simple as that. It's real time, it's continuous, it's in the field where you need it, it has a high level of connectivity, it's as accurate as it needs to be, it's useful in gases, liquids, so air, water, carbon dioxide, blood, oil. It has that all-important razors and razor blades business model component to it. It can be manufactured at low cost by contract manufacturing partners. Our competition comes, as you might imagine, from the large lab analyzers, expensive, slow, fairly accurate. It also comes on the low end and the cost-effectiveness end from color-changing tubes, which are single-use. They have no connectivity. In the middle, you have a hodgepodge of sensors, which are decades-old technology, which are not very broadly applicable, not scalable, and really not very affordable. At Georgia Tech, so far, there's been over 50 targets detected with this technology. You see the list there. We are focusing on a very small subset of those targets in our go-to-market strategy: chlorine, ammonia, and groundwater contaminants, largely VOCs, volatile organic compounds. Chlorine is a major disinfectant in the food and beverage industry, which is one of our main initial industries that we're going after. We're working very closely with a Fortune 100 company to develop a sensor that can be used in process control and quality control. In the battle to ensure that you don't have to do expensive product buffering, that you don't have billion-dollar recalls, that you can protect your customers' health and your valuable brand, real-time sensors will play a critical role. We're also, strangely, at least United States is a $25 billion industry. Experts say that a better ammonia sensor like we're bringing to the market can add 5% increased productivity to the 100,000 poultry houses around the country. We plan to introduce a product into this market early next year. Groundwater. Groundwater is a source of drinking water for about half the United States. Groundwater is increasingly under threat from a variety of contaminants, especially volatile organic compounds. These compounds are dangerous, disease-causing chemicals. This represents a multi-billion-dollar market for Lumense. Our team is a mix of experienced startup executives as well as the folks largely responsible for the development of the technology at Georgia Tech. This is my second sensor startup. Prior to that, I was a venture investor with a local venture capital firm. Financially, we expect to achieve a little bit of revenue this year, follow it up with about $2 million in revenue next year, about $10 million in revenue in 2014. We should be profitable in 2014. Our financing history so far is we were fortunate to raise a $1 million seed round from a well-known local angel investor in May. We've also received significant funding from our Fortune 100 development partner, and we benefited from the generous programs at the GRA. We are seeking $2 million in Series B financing sometime around the middle of next year. I appreciate your time and your interest in Lumense. Thank you.